guys, it's Brent, and this is a video that is the first video in a series about my band, Lydia's Bridge. And I've been wanting to make videos like this for a while. I've had a playlist for these type of videos since I started my channel back in February of last year. And I'm just now getting around to making these type of videos. And what these videos are going to be is basically me talking to members of the band. Today's video, I'm going to be talking to the lead singer and guitarist of the band, Lydia's Bridge. His name is Scott. I call him Scetto. We call him Scetto. That's his nickname. Just like I'm Brant to you guys, but to them I'm Shug. And there'll be the backstory for that coming in future videos. But and then there's the other member of the original incarnation of Lydia's Bridge. His name's Darren. We call him Bubba. And then there's another incarnation of Lydia's Bridge that we'll talk about in the upcoming video right here after this. And that member was when Bub kind of left the band. We picked up a bass player named Scott Henderson, who has been in some of my Kiss album review videos, my childhood friend, who had just started playing bass, had been playing bass for a little bit. We picked him up and put him in the bass player position. We were a three-man band. So in this first video, you're gonna find out a little bit about the band. I'm gonna be talking with Scott via Skype. He lives all the way up in New York, and so the Skype connection gets a little squirrely sometimes. But I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get right into me and him talking. So I'm here with my friend and my bandmate, Scott Peterson. We call him Scetto. He's the lead singer and the guitarist of our band, Lydia's Bridge. And so I wanted you to do this video to kind of introduce you to the viewers that's going to be watching these video series talking about Lydia's Bridge, and wanted to go all the way back to the beginning. We're always off of camera. We already started sharing a beer together, and that was one of our things back in the day, was sharing beers together. We started off very humbly in the basement, and so want to go back to before I came into the picture. Tell me what Lydia's Bridge, tell me about you and Bub before I came into the picture. Lydia's Bridge, where'd that name come from, and how did it get around to where I was going to come into the picture?
All right, well, I've known Darren, Bubba, since I was like 4 years old. And we always jammed together. He always played guitar, and he ended up converting to bass just because we couldn't find a bass player. So we wanted to get a band together, so I ended up moving down south, and I was, guess, their adopted child for a little while.
You guys are originally from New York, and that's where you live now, both of you now, but at this time y'all were in Charlotte, down in North Carolina.
Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Right.
That's where Darren was living, and so I moved down to North Carolina basically to start a band with him. Mm-hmm.
And he was married, but they didn't have any kids yet.
No.
And you were single at the time.
Yep. I was just out of college, and I was just kind of roaming around.
Yeah. And at the time, I was single, coming out of a marriage, a 7-year marriage. And at the time that I met you guys, I was single and had not yet met April, who's my wife now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, we got together. We were jamming first, just doing acoustic stuff. We were hitting re-raz down in Charlotte, doing open mics, and said he ended up starting bass just because we could not find a bass player, and I was basically writing most of the songs, so it was just me staying on guitar and him going to bass, and then we located you.
Yeah.
So jam with you. But the band, we were trying to come up with a band name. And Darren or Bubba, I don't know, I'll probably just call him Bubba because I'm so used to calling him Bubba.
Right.
Bubba went to school in college in High Point, North Carolina. And one of the things in his fraternity, they went to the bridge to go see Lydia at the bridge. So he would always tell me this story, and I'd be like fascinated because I'm obsessed with ghosts and the paranormal. So he's mentioned that name, and it was like, hey, that'd make a cool name for a band. And at first we called it Lydia's Bridge with Littias,
Right.
Lydia's. Then we realized, hey, we're saying it wrong. It was Lydia.
Right.
So we ended up going. I think if some of the first demo tapes I have say Lydia's on it.
Right.
But,
And yeah, so me and you, we've been to the bridge. I actually have, I've created, and I'll put a card up if people want to see it. I'll put a card up for the video. I created a video where I went back to the bridge recently, took my wife, and we went back to the bridge. And I've included some footage from when me and you went to the bridge and stayed pretty late until we started feeling it was weird. I remember that night like it was yesterday, and me and you were down there trying to contact Lydia, and me and you
yep.
both had experiences. We both we felt like we were earlier in the evening. We felt like we were being watched, and almost like by something that was curious. I remember we talked about that, and a couple of I think you got your neck breathed on or touched, and at one
Yeah.
point in time I got bumped into, and I thought it was you, and you were like all the way at the other bridge away from me, and but as it got darker, and we were there into night, and as it got darker, because we knew that there had been some, just because of some of the graffiti that was down there, that there had probably been some satanic stuff that went on down there, and as it got darker and darker and darker, that feeling that we felt of innocence and just of curiosity, why are you here? It started changing, and it started getting really oppressive. And I think that was something that me and you was just like, nah, we're not about this. I'm not down here to try
Yeah.
to get attacked by some demonic force or whatever. And we got out of there. It wasn't that we were scared. It's just that I felt like both of us was just like, that's not really what we were trying to accomplish. And so, but that was a cool night. We've been to the bridge several times. Some of the videos I'm going to be showing are going to have pictures that you sent that were taken at the bridge of us, several photo shoots, and the
Do you
bands.
remember that? I sent you that one picture. It's not the best scanned image, but you see that there's a picture of the one side of the bridge. It's all vegetation. There's like an orb there, and I never really noticed that before. I don't know if you checked it out, but
Yeah, yeah,
there's an orb.
yeah. There is an orb there. I saw that, and I'm going to be sure to put that in a video showing that. Yeah. So Lydia's Bridge, the band. So how did I come about getting into the band? I remembered that I was kind of, I'd just divorced, and I was kind of, or I'd separated, and I was in the process where I was just trying to. I went into the beginning of that year. Um, Me and my ex-wife had separated sometime or shortly after Labor Day, and I remember it was the Labor Day holiday. And then I spent the last part of that year trying to possibly get my wife back. And after it was all for naught, I decided to start the first of the year rebuilding myself and doing things that I wanted to do. So I joined the gym in January, worked on losing a lot of weight, lost a lot of weight. And I was like, you know what? I've not been in a band for a while, and so I've been in bands previous, and I've not been in a band for a while. So I'm gonna see if I can find me a band, at least some guys to jam with. So I answered an ad in Creative Loafing, in Charlotte Magazine, Creative Loafing, and is a band that was looking for a drummer. And I remember I got contacted by a guy, and it wasn't you. It was the guy that was kind of the guitarist, or I don't know if he was ever officially or what. And we were talking about that story off camera. So what's that story with that, and how I actually got to be in the band?
Yeah, originally me and Darren were looking for a singer and a drummer, and I was just going to play guitar. He was just going to play bass. And so we looked into Creative Wolf, and we saw, I can't remember if we put an ad in looking for a singer or if we got to that, saw him in there. But either way, we got connected with this guy. We originally called him Steve, and he got so mad us calling him Steve, and he wanted to be called Stefan. And so that kind of threw us threw a bad vibe right off the rip because he kind of got irritated with us. So we got together. He came in with all this equipment, PA stuff, recording stuff, 7-string guitar, 6-string guitar. Came with all this stuff, and me and Bubba are like, holy cow, this guy's going to blow us out of the water. No way we can commute this. But he couldn't play. And then he went to go sing, and he couldn't sing. And we, after talking to him, we were hanging out, having a beer, talking to him, and somehow we got Darren finagled your number out of him. Hey,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got a drummer. We can start playing some gigs. So Darren's like, hey, can I get his number? You know? So we got your name and number. And then basically, then Darren kicked him out of his house. All right, we're done here. Kicked him out. Darren's pretty abrupt, you know, straight. No nonsense. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Then I think we waited a little while. I'm like, should we call? And we were kind of debating on who was going to call you. And I ended up calling you. We got chatting with you and set up a jam.
Yeah,
and I remember that first time you came and jammed. We were hanging out, and there was, I think, like Max at Night on or something, or some weird thing. And you were hanging out. It's like not quite it's a weird experience.
Yeah.
Going on here, but it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time. I remember the first time I met you guys. We sat down, and did we start sharing ghost stories like right away? I mean, because I remember you guys telling me about all your ghost stories about the time that y'all went to that house and y'all got chased, or somebody got chased out by something that sound like a pig snorting, and you know, we just talked.
Yeah. Devil, that was Darren talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in North Carolina too. That the Devil's Stomping Ground.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The pig chasing them through the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, and I went to Devil's Stomping Ground too. Now we went out during the day. I ain't gonna go out and investigate Devil's Stomping Ground at night. I'm just not gonna do it.
I'm talking about the paranormal.
Yeah.
Here. Do you remember? I remember it, and Bubba remembers it. Playing in his basement one day in North Carolina, and out of nowhere there was a guy standing in the doorway of the room, just looking at us, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
We all stopped playing at the same time, and I know I was crapping my pants. And Bubba really was.
Yeah. And I remember how we used to play. We played in that one room in the basement. And I was in the corner facing you guys, and you two guys you were on my right, and Bub was on my left, and that's the way we played, and we would face each other, and when we recorded, we'd either have a 4-track, or sometimes we would just have, and I'm going to be sharing these songs, because me and you, we've been in the studio and did a kind of a professional, because we paid for it, studio recordings. We did several songs, and then we recorded some stuff in the basement on 4-track, and then sometimes we did we hung a mic and we had a boombox, or we did a boombox recording. Some songs we captured lightning in a bottle on those, and we never really re-recorded them in a way.
Yeah.
But there was that room that was off to the left of the room that we practiced in. A lot of times when April and the kids would come with me, she'd either sit upstairs with Bub's wife, or she would sit over there in that room. And I used to always catch stuff out of the corner of my eye in that doorway, in that hallway to the left, and that was the one that figure appeared in. And I remember that. I do. I mean, there was something about that house, especially the basement. You know, that house always creeped me out. You know. And but yeah, I remember the first time we played together. Do you remember the first song we ever played together? Because we did mostly original stuff. We had some covers.
Yep.
But do you remember the first song we ever played together?
I want to say it was Lady of Life.
It was Lady of Life.
And then slowly, as years went by, I think I changed it to Lady of Life. But Lady of Life was that first song. And first time I ever had drums put to it, and you just, bam, it was there.
Yeah.
It was there.
And there was something about us playing together, you know, and we had Severed Rain. I remember the very first time I heard Severed Rain. I was like, these are the guys I want to play with.
And
You
you
know,
know what? Severed Rain, I wrote that before, and I tried playing that with other people, and people would not want to play that because it starts off fast and it goes to that like kind of slows down a little bit, and they're like, you can't do that. They're like, you can't play it like that. I'm like, but that's the way it goes. Why can't we?
yeah,
And you were the first one to ever lay drums to that and make it sound the way I wanted it to. Nobody else would do it.
right.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it,
Severed Rain will be one that we're going to. I don't know what video I'm going to tack on the end of this one. I think that the video I'm going to tack on to the end of this one that we're going to do, and then it'll be a video on its own, and then I'll put the card to where people can get to the Scetto Lydia's Bridge Reverb Nation page. But I think the one that I'm going to tack on to the first of this one, it's because it's one that I use a lot, is one that came later on called Looking for Satisfaction. And it came
yeah,
many years later because the band itself has actually gone through a couple. We've had a long history, 20-year history, a lot of hiatus. It's funny because even though you guys live in New York, I live down in North Carolina. We get together and play maybe once every 5-6 years, if that. I still consider us a band. I
yeah.
still consider Lydia's Bridge my band, our band, and I still consider us together because we never broke up. We just take hellacious long breaks, but because there's something about when the
It's
three
band
of us,
Austin.
something about when we get together and we play, it's just magic, And it's been me and you. It's been me, you, and Bub, and then when Bub went back, I think his dad got sick or somebody got
Yeah,
sick.
his
His
father-in-law was sick.
father-in-law got sick.
Yep.
So he went back. You stayed down. We recruited Scott Henderson, Scott Rock, and he played bass. We'll be showing some videos of that. And the recordings that we actually did professionally are him on bass. And I'll be showing pictures of him whenever we get to that. And then you went back to New York and you started jamming with your brother Paul and your other brother Wayne.
Brother Wayne.
Wayne
Yep.
plays keyboards and
Yep.
your brother sings and plays guitar, and y'all
Mhm.
did Big Sexy. And y'all,
Yep.
when I went up and played and jammed with you guys as Big Sexy for a while,
He slid right in there
and
too. That was,
just fit right in.
yeah, he did.
And I'll be showing footage of that later on in videos as we go along. But I think the first video that I'm going to do would be Looking for Satisfaction, because I use it at the end of my videos. It's that, starts off with that just dum dum, starts off with that just guitar and you singing. I don't think anybody's heard it all the way through yet because I've not ever played it. People only usually hear about the first 20-30 seconds of it. So the video will be tacked on to the end of this, and then it'll be released on its own as a standalone video as well. So let's talk a little bit about that song, "Looking for Satisfaction." How did
Mhm.
that song come about? What were you? You, of course, are the writer of it, and
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, it kind of came about the music. I was just sitting on my couch watching TV, which I normally do. I usually have my guitar with me, and I just start strumming. I started coming up with the chords for it. Very simple song. And at that time, Big Sexy, we were kind of, I want to say on a hiatus because we had a drummer at the time who was an alcoholic. And his name, Freddie Cobb, he ended up passing away young, maybe about a year or two after that point. He died young. And they kind of came out, the lyrics came about basically because of stuff with Freddie. He just drank. He couldn't get a hold of anything. And then I also incorporated a little bit to my brother Paul, where he was just like a Jim Morrison aspect playing out. Girls loved him, and just you like to have a good time. So I kind of merged those two together, those elements, came up with the lyrics, and basically with that, can't get any satisfaction, drinking all the time and, still drunk in the morning. Basically, Freddie, we'd be playing gigs out, and the bar owners and bartenders like, you need to get him out of here. And it's like, well, he's our drummer. We can't get him out of there. You know, phenomenal drummer. But as he drank, he just got sloppy, and he'd be so much as walking around, you know, you're smoking bars at that time, and he'd be basically pulling cigarette butts out of beers, and he'd be drinking, you know, the beers, you know. So that's kind of where the lyrics kind of mix between Freddie and then my brother Paul, with, you know, kind of going back and forth, you know, just experiences playing out live, you know. That's basically where that came from. And seeing how Big Sexy was kind of on a hiatus, I was trying to come up with, I'm always trying to write music, keep the music going. So that was sitting until you came up and visited from North Carolina. They laid it down. It's basically just sat as an acoustic song, you know.
Right. And so, like I said, the video, Skype video, got a little squirrely during that time. It got really bad there towards the end. So we ended up having to cut the video a little shorter than we wanted to. But the song we're talking about is Looking for Satisfaction. It's the song that plays at the end of almost every one of my videos, the first 20 or 30 seconds of it. And we're going to play that. I made a lyric video of it. I'm going to tack it on the end here so you guys can watch it, listen to it, read the words. And I'm also going to set it as its own video in the Lydia's Bridge playlist. So if you like the song, you can listen to it all on its own. And if you like the song or whatever comments you have about this video, just put them down in the comment section. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Click that alert button so you get notifications. I had somebody ask me today, when you going to put out another video? I'm like, I put one out on Monday. They didn't have the notifications bell clicked. So click that notifications bell. Give a thumbs up if you like the video. And more importantly, leave a comment down there. And if you like this channel, share. I'm at 1,600 subscribers. I'm really trying to get to that next level for me, 2,000. So if you like this video, share it. Tell your friends about it. You know, if you like the other Kiss videos or whatever, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you watching any of my videos that you do, and I thank you for your support. I'm Brant Within My Head channel. That's all I got for today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Looking for some satisfaction, this mundane little life, a little turbo reaction to sustain my mind. I'm still drunk in the morning, I'm stoned all the time. Make love to any woman, any place at any time. Sometimes I walk away most every day. Just gotta keep on pushing, find my way. Some satisfaction to sustain my mind, some type of action